Do you think they got it right, Bruce?
I would have, just based on the logic that they have talked about, I would have thought it would have been Ohio State, just because they talk a lot about conference championships mattering and this quality wins thing. If you had asked me this dynamic 4 years ago, I would have thought Alabama would have been higher up because they only have one loss. But they don't. They kind of downplay to some degree how much losses matter compared to quality wins in conference championships.
Let's be honest, Bruce. I mean, they'll do that for a few weeks, but when it all comes down to it, putting brass to tax to brass here, they gotta put two games together that the country wants to see or and watch, and it all came down to an eye test and a smell test. Does it look like a championship team or not? And they saw Ohio State against Wisconsin, and they saw Alabama against Auburn in the Iron Bowl, and they sat back, and they're like, okay, which game do we want to run back? The national championship game in the last 2 years, the game there was a blowout, shutout loss. I think that's the end of it, Bruce, right?
I think
that's it.
And I do wonder if Ohio State wins that game Saturday night 35-10 as opposed to down to the wire. I think you might have gotten a different result, but Ohio State didn't look dominant. They didn't look dominant against your alma mater, Michigan, either. Now, they looked dominant in the game we had a couple of weeks before that against Michigan State, but when you had a couple of, one blowout loss and another one, quite honestly, where Oklahoma was clearly the better team, and it was in Columbus, I don't think you have anyone to blame but yourself if you're at Ohio State.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.